The year is 2013, and Hasbro is yet to release. Oh wait, what? What? Really? What's going on here? Now that, to me, this is wrong. How is that even I don't understand it, guys. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's a KO of Bruticus? It's Bruticus and Ruination? Ruination and Bruticus? What's going on here? Let's just get back to the toy. As you guys can clearly tell, this version of Onslaught is slightly larger. It's kind of cool that it's oversized, but don't be fooled! Don't be fooled by its size! One other thing you can obviously notice though is the pegs are completely different. Taking a look at him, and he's got all the natural hollowness that the Hasbro release has. Significantly lighter though. It's very light compared to the Hasbro one. The Hasbro one actually has a lot of girth to it. This cheaper alternative, I don't know where to begin. Other than the gun not really wanting to peg on very well, although it does have the two posts for it. And if you look at the arms look very spindly. You can tell this thing's got a lot. And this is another crazy thing. The peg spins with the wheel. What the Sam hell's going on here? I mean, and it doesn't even really spin very well. It's got this friction joint, a lot like Hasbro does, but Hasbro's got friction joints, but they work. This one, back wheel turns just fine. Front wheels are the ones that give you problems. I mean, granted, the ones on the Hasbro wasn't the greatest, but I mean, come on. Although they did kind of rip off the mold pretty good. This KO Onslaught really, it's unfortunate because it's so light, and it's got this peg system that doesn't work, and this doesn't hold down at all. It's also got this problem here where these just completely turn around and around and around and around and around, and this is going to go more into the reason why you probably should stay away from this set. I mean, it's not that it's awful, it's just that it's paper thin plastic. Honestly, I've had some bad knockoffs, guys, and you've seen what I've done to bad knockoffs. But I'm not really going to do anything bad to these because these are actually got a little bit of charm behind them. Why? Well, look at them. You never seen anything like this before. This is completely different compared to what Hasbro gave us. I mean, the transformation is identical except for the bit here actually pegs in. There's no place to peg in here on the back on this one. This doesn't peg in at all. Although you would think these bits here should be able to peg into these, which there's no way to pull that out to do that. So, what gives? I mean, did the KO makers come up with a cool engineering design here, or what they do? I mean, I guess this thing here could try to fold out further, but it doesn't, because this thing is out as far as it goes. This one here lays flat. I mean, it completely lays flat. Although this whole section here doesn't move, it just lays flat, and it pegs into the back. Kind of odd. Anyhow, let's go into transformation!
This episode of Plasticon Reviews is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Remember, save the polar bears this winter.
Transformed! Sorry, I'm not going to do it on camera. Why? It's the same transformation. Identical transformation. You guys have seen this thing transformed. If you haven't seen reviews of this, go back and check out my reviews. But, that aside, this guy, look how much taller he is. I mean, yeah, he's almost a Voyager size, which is great. But the bad thing is, the pegs. The pegs are not big enough to hold any Hasbro product on there. So if you guys were thinking about buying this set because it's oversized, well, guess what? Don't do it. Because you can't take this one and use it for a substitute. I wouldn't do it anyway because it's very loose. I mean, check this out. Look. There's no pegging in. He literally flops. He's got this pelvic thrust movement going on here, and it's not intentional because it just happens. And the other crazy thing is, his head does not move. This is all one molded piece, guys. This does not move. It's funny though, because Onslaught's head on here moves. Like, not Onslaught, but Bruticus head? Yeah, it moves. But as for the other one, no, it doesn't. And another thing to let you guys know, there are no posts on the back of this to plug this weapon into. Although this weapon is molded identical to the Hasbro one, there is no post peggage back here, which is kind of sad, considering, you know, there was a lot of potential here that they could have made this a good product, but they didn't. It is very hollow. And the other thing I noticed when I got this, it's got a very long peg here. This is supposed to peg into the holes here on the shoulders to help hold the arms in place. Well, this one here is completely snapped off. So that just kind of tells you the quality of the plastic here, guys. I mean, yeah, this is a KO, but this is a very weird, obscure one that I wanted to show you guys. Purchased it and thought it was pretty cool. I thought it might actually be a decent KO because I've had a lot of nice KOs in my time. This one, I don't know what else to say. Anyhow, let's move on to the next bot. But guess what? They did the same thing to Brawl. They totally screwed this up. Brawl is slightly oversized though. Just slightly. Not by much. They're just a teeny tiny amount. But he is slightly oversized. By barely anything, really. It's really odd. It's like they took the mold and just lightly blew it up, and there we go. There was some of our problems right there. This is a turret. It's a turret. it turns too freely. I mean, you guys complained about Hasbro. Here, now complain. Seriously, this is not a good product at all. I do collect POs, like I said, and this brawl is really missing the mark. I mean, look at this. It says Nat and Tank. They literally just took like the same tempo, reversed it, and just put it on both sides. It didn't even care if the lettering was backward. It's just, what the heck are they thinking? I mean, visible head syndrome, obviously, but that head doesn't go in. It's stagnant. It's molded there. Same with the fists. Their fists are molded. I mean, it's kind of funny having a tank drive around and have his fist sticking out like, bam, I'm going to hit you because I've got fist of power. This thing is not even that cool. And it's honestly, it's missing the mark by a lot. It's got this obvious connection port here, which look at these ports. This is what you got to connect with. This does not spin or anything. So that is a major downfall here, guys. Major downfall. You cannot scramble city this thing. It is literally got two positions you can put things in when we get to the actual combination mode. But yeah, and the thing is, this thing's super light. I mean, yeah, granted the turret sits in there, but it doesn't sit in there very well. I mean, you shake it a little bit, it's eventually going to fall right out. But you have a turretless tank. Looks like a speedboat hovercraft thingy or some crab monster from outer space. Roar! Okay, enough of this, into the transformation.
This episode of Plasticon Reviews is brought to you by Certs. Fresh breath speaks for itself.
And we're back! Yes, I did not transform it on camera again. Why? These things are so god-awful. This thing is so paper thin, like extremely paper thin. Like when I transform this thing, I feel like I have to handle this thing like I'm handling somebody's 75-year-old china because it's that thin. Now granted, they did not fix the problem that this guy has always had of falling over, which I've obviously rigged it with the cannon sticking out the back so that way you can actually stand up, but I did the same here. Oh, by the way, there are no alternative things sticking off these feet. Look at these feet. They're just chunks of plastic. I mean, look how thin this plastic is. It's pretty bad. Arms are extremely spindly. They don't fold in. They don't do anything, which is really weird that it's got this joint, which I have yet to figure out why that's even there. It doesn't even help in the combination mode. This one here is just extremely loose. Now maybe if I decide to go in and put some fingernail polish in there, I can probably tighten it up or shove some little piece of paper or something in there. But I mean, really, it's not really worth it. No, the head sculpt's not bad. I mean, the sculpting on them are just fine. Paint apps are meh. But I mean, for a KO, you would think they probably would have put a little more care into it. But this is bad. I mean, I don't hardly ever complain about toys, but this is just a warning for you guys out there. When I purchased these, I was thinking I was getting something cool. No, I didn't. This thing, it feels like it's just gonna explode. So next time, guys, don't complain about these. These are just fine. Granted, his feet could have been better, but that's his only problem. He's tight, he holds together, he doesn't flop about. Try doing that with this one. Flubber, 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 flubber. And Grant, yep, up. Those turrets gonna come loose. And they did. Well, let's go to the next one. They call that brawl. I mean,
Tune in tomorrow, guys. We'll cover the next one.
And we're back with this. I cannot explain exactly how fragile this one is. This is obviously the worst one of the lot because this has a lot of moving parts that move, but a lot of parts that aren't there that should move. I'll go into that more when I actually show you a little more of the insides. Anyhow, look at it. It obviously looks a lot like the original. The original, you know, is fairly decent. Granted, these blades don't really spin very well, but they spin pretty good on this one. I have to give it that. It does have that. It does have better spinning blades, I guess. But don't be fooled. Now, these are harder plastic, so obviously if they do get caught on something, they're gonna probably break. Color scheme, okay, I guess. Obviously got that weird connector point. Look at this thing. I mean, they honestly couldn't reverse engineer these things, right? It's like, I don't know, a booster or something. It's weird. And the other thing is, this entire back part does not lift up like the original. And it only has one thing inside here. One thing. And it's not the gun, it's the hand. Pretty bad. It's pretty floppy. I played with this thing a little bit and it really just likes to fall apart. And this does not like to go down all the way either. Really temperamental. The quality is not good with this at all. I mean, it's got a lot of hollow bits just like, you know, the Hasbro does, but I mean, at least Hasbro put some kind of molded detail or something in there. And look at the alternative, guys. I don't see any molded detail. I see a screw and a bunch of floppy stuff. It's just odd. It's not very good. Significantly lighter. Yes, this might have the actual weapons on it, but this thing still feels solid. This does not. So just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what to not buy this Christmas. Do not buy this thing. Unless you're a completionist and you gotta have every crazy Bruticus thing there is, and I kinda am, so I'm a little nuts. But anyhow, if you were looking for quality, do not buy this one. Anyhow. It's already begun. Let's get this thing transformed. And we're back! Look at this! Now granted, his robot mode does not look bad. But oh my god, those shoulders are not gonna hold. Those shoulders just will not hold on this. This thing looks excellent. It looks just fine. There are floppy bits on him. Yes, there's a very cumbered head movement and such on this guy. Yes, I completely understand your guys' argument about this one, but look at this one. This one obviously doesn't have the skirt piece, so therefore it's got some transformation gimmicks that do not work. This does not extend out like the normal one at all. It's very floppy, and you guys can tell, you know, this is supposed to fit flush up against that. It won't do it. If I can get this to actually show you, you guys can already see it's got a crack right there. This literally happened when I took it out of the package and just looked. I mean, the package was plastic bags, but still. I mean, look at this. It's pretty bad. I mean, he does have articulation, but the only thing is his head doesn't move at all. He's got waist. Which, what's the point in giving me a waist when you're not going to make the head move? And this just folds back, but it doesn't fold back all the way. That's as far as it goes. Granted, the molded detail is not bad, but still. Oh, and these things? You forget these things. These things do not fold in. And there's obviously the hand. The poor excuse of a hand, I should say, because of the inabilities that it has. But there you go. There's Vortex, or the not Vortex. Anyhow, I've got 2 more to go over, so let's get back to those.
Vortex? Are you kidding me? That's Vortex? That sorry excuse of a floppy thing is Vortex? Tune in tomorrow. We'll cover the next one.
And we're back. Check this one out. Look at this. This is weird. Now this is where things get odd and crazy, and because you buy KOs, and this is why you look into them. Leadfoot. Legion size toy. Blown up to deluxe scale with an added spoiler. Yes, he's got a spoiler. Look at this. This thing is really odd. I mean, this is where things get really, really weird. I mean, okay, connection port right here on the front. Obviously, he doesn't have a movable part, so he's probably just gonna become a foot, and that's exactly what he is. He is a foot. This is why I'm telling you, the Scramble City thing does not work with this. This can either be a left or right leg, and that's it. Does have a movable gun, which is kind of cool. And it's kind of cool that he's like in this crazy gold color, which kind of makes me wonder if this is going to suffer from GPS here in a few years. I guess I'll hang on to it and find out. This is one of the biggest reasons why I bought the set, though, was because of this. This guy here alone. I thought it was kind of cool. Until I got it in hand. I regret it. But his weapon actually stays on fairly well. It's got a fairly tight port, which means they actually took a little bit of care when they made that. Let's take a look at the molded detail on the gun's actually kind of neat. And it almost looks like one of those play school kind of toy guns that you get with, like, you know, your adventure sets and crap back then. But it's got a lot of molded detail. I mean, I can't complain one bit about the detail here. Although the only thing is, when I got mine, you can see it maybe a little bit stuffed up there, because it had a bunch of black paint, and I wanted to get it off there so that way it didn't look so bad. But it's not bad. Pretty cool. Not bad at all. But let's go into, wait, one sec. Size comparison time. Onslaught compared to him. Or not Onslaught, Swindle. Swindle. I stand corrected, Swindle. And there you go. There's your comparison. Approximately about the same size, kind of cool. Anyhow, let's go into transforming this thing. Whoop. And here we go. Here it is. Here is the Leadfoot. Oversized thing that turns into a combiner limb. Yeah. And there's this Legion class. And there's Vortex. See the size? The size is fine. It fits in with them. But it's still not good quality. This thing is paper thin. And I tell you right now, if this thing suffers from GPS, the first thing that's going to break are going to be these little things here that actually hold the arms. solid gold. These little bits here. This thing transforms identical to him. This guy. Identical. Same transformation. Kind of crazy. But it is pretty cool. I do dig this one. If anything, they could have renamed this one here Electro or something, because he's gold and probably gonna fall apart just like him. But there he is. Kind of neat. It's got a lot of molded detail. I mean, the mold really isn't that bad. It's just such paper thin plastic, I'd be afraid this thing would just explode in my hand. That's the only bad thing about this thing. I can't complain about the mold. I mean, even the fists are molded, and they didn't even skim out on any of the detail on the head. I mean, it's really weird. Well, it looks like he has eyeballs, but it's because everything there is just, there's no separation with the gold. They could have probably put some teal here or something, put some teal on his head, like they did here, and here, and here, and there, and there, and there, and there, and yeah. But anyhow, let's go on to the last one of this lot, shall we? Let's. They call that lead foot. They might as well call it dust in a bag in about 10 years. Damn GPS. No GPS. God, no. Tune in tomorrow. And we're back with the not top spin oversized knockoff combining limb thing. Yes, this is top spin in his Mad Max form. It's pretty cool, actually. Kind of dig this one. I'd say this one here and Leadfoot are probably my favorite. I know this really isn't coming off very well, but this is almost like a greenish, bronzish colored stuff. Pretty neat. Does have a combiner port right there. Obviously, you can tell he is probably going to become a leg. And you're absolutely right. Just only become a leg. Because you got this added foot thing here that Leadfoot had. Size comparison. Pretty on par with Swindle here. Very cool. Do you like it? But anyhow, let's go into transformation. And we're back! And there he is! He looks big and spindly, and that's pretty much what he is. Check out the head sculpt. Looks kind of weird. Looks kind of odd. Looks like movie-verse stuff, and that's pretty much what he is. This is an oversized KO of the Legion-sized one that I do not have. Sorry. Oh well. Anyhow, check it out. It looks like complete poo. It's got that bronzy color, like poo. Kind of feels like it because he's paper thin. It's really sad because this is such a missed opportunity. They could have easily re-engineered these to work with the real Bruticus, and it would have been awesome because then you would have been able to take this limb and the other limb and put those on Ruination and make it cool. But no, they didn't. Sorry. There it is. Anyhow, let's move into combination.
This.
as you can see, the combination view of him, it's just god awful. Yes, it's slightly taller, like maybe by a head and a half high, maybe about right there on Bruticus, the real one. But I mean, come on, look at this. Look at this. This is inferior. Look at the way the arm is. Look at that. There's no hands. There's no hand there. All it is just a nub. I mean, yeah, look at the legs. Legs are great. The legs are awesome. And torso's fine. But these arms are a failure. What tops it all off is the simple fact that these don't even combine into anything. You can stick them on him, but they're not worth it. I mean, there you go. There is Bruination. I'm calling him Bruination. Why? Because he doesn't know whether he's an Autobot or a Decepticon, and I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's odd. It's strange. Some people might like it, some people might not, but this... Customizers, if you guys can do anything with one of these, try it. But there's nothing you can do about paper thin plastic. Anyhow, this has been Plasticon, and this has been yet another review. And this is me signing off. Peace out, you guys. They call that a combiner. They call that a combiner. That is... I'm lost for words. That's all I got for this review, guys. Tune in some other time and I might have something better. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I had to bear you with this thing, but stay away from it. For God's sake, stay away from it. It's gonna eat your soul.